Hi everyone and welcome back to the Hairy Vlogger channel. Today I thought I'd go through my hair routine with you, how I put Regaine in. A lot of you ask about Regaine, which is this little topical application here. You apply it to your hair and it basically increases the blood supply to the hair. First of all, if you're new to watching the channel or you already watch me already, subscribe. I want to get my subscribers up a little bit more, and I'll do a few Q&A videos in the coming weeks. So at the end of this video, any questions that you've got, drop them in the comment section below and I'll do a Q&A video answering all of them. In terms of, I still get questions asking what medication that I take. I still take finasteride. I still take Regaine, and obviously I had my hair transplant as well, which was, my hair was all the way back here last year. Regaine is really good. So before I even took finasteride or I had a hair transplant, the very first thing I tried was Regaine, and you buy it in little packs like this. I find I get them from Boots, which in the UK is like a shop where you can buy all sorts of different hair care products and home care products, things like that. And Regaine, it's fairly expensive. I think I paid about £90 for 6 months worth. So it's fairly expensive, but realistically, once you start using things like finasteride and Regaine, you're probably going to want to stay using it, because how my hair is now, that is a result of the factors that have gone into maintaining my native hair. So finasteride, I take that daily before bed, and Regaine I apply twice a day, one in the morning and one at night, so one before bed. 12 hours apart you're meant to apply it. And without taking that, who knows what my hair would look like now. It might have lost more density, I don't know. You can't go back in time and suddenly not take it and then try and compare the results. It doesn't work like that. But once you're taking it, you're probably going to stay on it, because if you care about your hair, you care enough to have a hair transplant procedure, it's recommended that you stay on the medication to maintain your native hair as dense as possible. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Regaine today, and I'm going to go through how I apply this, because a lot of people ask on different hair loss channels, how do you apply Regaine? So I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. I buy it in the foam, okay, so its actual medical name is minoxidil. It's branded as Regaine, and I think in America it might be Rogaine in the US. And it basically helps by increasing the blood flow to the actual follicle of the hair. So your hair, when you're suffering from male pattern baldness, DHT will cause the follicle to shrink, goes back almost from being a mature adult hair, regressing back to being like a tiny thin baby hair. One of the things that can help is Regaine, because Regaine will increase the blood flow to the area, making the hair follicle much more healthy, make sure it gets lots of nutrients, so that it gives you the best chance of keeping it thick and full. If you go back to one of my earlier videos, I actually went through some pictures of when I was much younger. This is probably when I was from 18 to 20, 21, 22, and I just used Regaine, and for 2 years my hair came back fantastically. But it doesn't stop DHT, so that pathway continues. So realistically, if you're wanting to stop the hair loss in its tracks, you need to be taking finasteride. Regaine will just make your hair a lot more healthy and increase the blood flow to it. Whether it's making that much of an impact now, I'm not too sure, but I don't want to stop it. I've got the funds to continue using it, so I don't see why I would stop, because I'm happy with my hair now. And if I stopped taking it and my hair did start to thin again, then I'd be disappointed that I stopped. So there's no point stopping. Right, let's get onto the video then. Let's show you exactly what you want to see. So the first thing I'd recommend is, I do this after a shower. I've been doing it for years now, probably 6 years, I guess, 7 years now. So I'm pretty adept at applying it. It's pretty quick. I use a comb, or I might use one of these brushes just to separate the hair. You want to apply it when your hair is dry. So I came out the shower probably about an hour ago and my hair's all dry now. You can apply it while it's fairly damp, but I don't think it takes into the scalp as well. Also, like this video, comment below. I want to get more engagement and get more followers. Subscribe. I've literally hoisted up a lamp in my cabinet and I put my phone on a tripod to get this video at the best angle, so appreciate that. Here's my comb. The very first thing I do is, you can apply it all over your head, and I'd recommend that you do that because it will increase the blood flow to the whole scalp. I personally apply it mainly to the front areas, the areas that were thinning before and the transplanted areas, and a little bit on my crown, which is, I can see it starting to thin. You won't really be able to see, but it's starting to thin a little bit. So the first thing I'll do is I'll get the comb and I'll pull up my hair. This is a good opportunity to show you my hairline actually, under a decent lighting. So you can see it's very natural, it's not too bad. This was the part of my hair here, you can see there, that's the bit that I was concerned about. I'm not too bothered now because I've styled my hair over that way anyway, and once I've styled it, you can't see it all. This lighting's a little bit harsh as well. So I take the Regaine, I apply it to the front of the hairline, like so, and it kind of disappears quite quickly. It turns into almost like a oily solution. It's not oily though, it's not horrible on the hair. And then I brush forward this part of my hair, and then I go to the bit behind. The reason why I'm using the comb is because it's allowing me access to the actual scalp, which is where you want to apply the Regaine. You don't want to apply the Regaine on the actual hair because then you're wasting it really. So all I'm doing is brushing apart the hair, making sure I'm getting to the scalp, and I'm rubbing it in at the scalp. I always make sure I get the front parts quite well because that's the part that usually thins the most, but to be honest, it's the thickest part of my hair now since I've had the hair transplant. And then it's a little bit trickier to do the back part. You've probably got a better view because I've angled the camera a little bit above, but hard for me to actually see this. And then you just generally go around, try and do the back of your hair. I just kind of poke the nozzle into my scalp, press it out, and then rub it in. And I'm only using tiny bits at a time. You're not meant to use loads of it. And also, you know, cost efficiency, you don't want to be using loads of it because then you're going to have to buy more of it. If you use it sparingly, it's going to last you about a month, one of these canisters, and you get 3 in a pack. So I'm just applying it all over. I know it looks like I'm putting a lot on, but I'm really not. I'm literally only just touching the nozzle, so a tiny bit comes out at a time, and then it spreads around fine. So you can see my hair's, you know, it's pretty wet looking at the moment, and to be honest, Regaine, I quite like it almost as a bit of a pre-styler for your hair because it adds a little bit of volume. It does give it a tiny bit of volume, and then I just brush it through my hair a little bit to spread it out a little bit more, and also make sure the product's on all of my hair actually. Makes it easier to style later on. You might, if you've got thin hair, use something like this, like a bit of a volumizing mousse. And I don't use this anymore because Regaine pretty much does the same thing. So instead, I just use Regaine. Now I could leave it like that if I was happy. You know, that still looks good. But I'm going to show you how I actually style my hair after now. So that is sinking into the scalp and that's going to do its job. But now I can use the hairdryer at the same time to dry it off a little bit quicker. And this will just dry it off the actual hair. So I'm going to show you how I actually style my hair now. So for someone with thinning hair, being able to actually style your hair is, you know, something you need to be able to do. And I've watched videos on this as well, like you probably have. If you want your hair to look a bit thicker, you're going to need something like a good hairdryer like this one. This one's a Panasonic. I just got it on Amazon. It's quite a powerful one. And you want it with a little nozzle at the end as well, because that will kind of stream the airflow. I'm putting it on the medium temperature. And what I like to do is I like to blow dry it up both ways, and it gives it it helps your hair stand on end a little bit more. It'll depend what your hair's like, but for me, this is the best way. And you can style your hair using one of these brushes which lets the air flow through. So I'm going to style it right here and now as well. Okay, so that's pretty volumized. My hair's fairly short, so it's going to look fairly similar anyway, but that's pretty volumized for me. So you can see what it looks like now. Not finished there though. I still add a couple of things. So I quite like Got to Be by Schwarzkopf. It's pretty good. It's like a powder. You've probably seen these on maybe some Instagram videos. You put it in your hair and it gives it a tiny bit of volume. So I'll add that first. Taking my glasses off because the powder can get onto your glasses. So you literally just sprinkle in a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. I don't put too much of this in because I use another product after as well. And then I literally just fluff it around. That product is really good if you've got very fine hair, because products like waxes, they make your hair clump together. So if your hair's already fine, when it clumps together, you're going to see more of your scalp, making your hair look a lot thinner than it actually is. Okay, so that's pretty volumized, but it doesn't have much texture to it yet. So the last product I add is VO5 matte paste. If you've got thin hair and you haven't used VO5 matte paste, you need to get this. You can buy it from Sainsbury's. I think it's about £3.50, but it lasts ages, maybe 2-3 months, and it's got a real, rated 5 on the hold. It's fantastic. You can style it when your hair's slightly wet, coming out of the shower. Maybe not wet, but damp. But I usually use it when it's dry. You need the tiniest bit. You literally pea-sized amount. Rub that into your palms. Get it to the edge of your fingertips, warm it up a little bit as well, and then literally just apply it. I do one sweep all over my hair to begin with, just to get it on the ends, and then just start to go through and just style it how you want. I always lean my hair over to one side. I don't mind which side, but I put it over the side that there's that tiny little gap, which you really can't see now. Maybe under the harsh lighting you can a little bit, but I can't see it and nobody else notices either. So that is my hair styling routine pretty much done. If you want it a little bit finer at the front, you can use one of these kind of boar hair brushes. They're very thin, so it doesn't damage your hair at all. And then I also hairspray as well, but I'm not going to do that for you because my tripod's literally resting on the hairspray, so that would knock it over. I'll also give you a quick update on my hair. So this is harsh lighting. This is like very strong lighting, so it's not as good, but you can see the hairline up close. I'm really happy with that. It's very natural looking. I think they could have done a slightly better job maybe at the corners, but I really don't care about that at this point. My hairline was back here before it was all pushed back, so now it's much better. I'm so much happier with it. And I'll turn to the side, give you a side view. Bear in mind what my hair looked like before. Go back on some of my older videos. They're fantastic results. Really fantastic. And I'll turn around for you. so you can see any scarring. I have had a skin fade. So yesterday I had a skin fade. So I actually haven't seen the back of my hair in a long time. The barber said the scarring's not bad at all. They said it's one of the best transplants they've seen, and they've seen quite a few of them. How much weight I put into that, I don't know, but still, yeah, really pleased with the results. So I would say that for the next video, well, this one, drop a comment below. Any questions you've got in terms of finasteride, Regaine, maybe you want me to do another hairstyling video, even skincare video, I don't mind, anything like that. Drop a comment below, ask me questions, and then in the next video, I'll do a Q&A and I'll answer every question. The reason why I made this channel was to help other people, you know, like myself, who, you know, I was quite anxious for a long time about getting a hair transplant. And there's a big stigma surrounding it, which there shouldn't be. You know, I feel like I've fixed my hair now and I feel so much more confident, so much happier after having it done. I don't have to look in the mirror all the time now looking at, oh, how do I style it because this bit's, you know, really far back. It's a horrible thing for young men. So I put these videos out here to help other people. And when I was going for my hair transplant, there weren't that many videos out there either, and they weren't engaging too much with the people that were commenting. Obviously, once they've had it done, they feel happy, and then they don't really care. They don't really remember what it was like before when they were so anxious and wanted to ask questions and get responses from people who had had a hair transplant. So I'm happy to answer any questions, and I'm going to make loads more videos. I'm coming up to my 12-month mark now, so October 23rd will be my 12-month transformation, so I'll post another video at that point. But, you know, fantastic results so far, really happy with them. Would I recommend Dr. T hair transplant in Istanbul, Turkey? The answer is yes. Yes, I would, and I'd recommend Get Hair as well. They do a lot to alleviate your stress. Yeah, that's it for today. So remember, subscribe, like, drop a comment, and I'll see you next time.